This year, more than 22,000 people attended DEF CON 24 in Las Vegas, Nevada. DEF CON is a curious mix of security researchers, hackers, makers, and those who just want to see below the veneer of the information society. While it's easy to be overwhelmed, especially by the coveted Uber badge competitions, where the prize is lifetime entry to DEF CON and the admiration of your peers, DEF CON is famous for having something for everyone. And for the maker, there is no better place than the hardware hacking village and the EFF badge hacking pageant. This year there were 3 categories: Analog, Past DEF CON Digital, and Wildcard. Let's take a look at the entries. A popular analog entry was the forging of last year's Uber badge, made by Grandmaker Lost and given only to the most elite of contest winners. No fewer than 5 individuals attempted to recreate the radioactive glass, custom forged metal, and Lichtenberg etching on the DEF CON 23 Uber badge. For reference, here is the real DC-23 Uber badge. Most of these were created with the makers only having pictures of the originals, so this was no easy task, and all of them made decent copies right down to the iridescent marble. Other analog entries included this DEF CON 13 badge turned into a lockpick set, and a top hat made from last year's vinyl record badge. The vinyl badge was a playable record that had content needed to complete the DEF CON Crypto Challenge and, of course, some pretty good music. The real treat in the badge hack pageant was digitally hacking past DEF CON badges, and this year there were some pretty good ones. This is a clock made from a DC-23 vinyl badge, some LEDs, an embedded processor, and a bunch of tape. This one of my favorites, is a DC-22 badge with a wireless receiver, upgraded power source, and 2 continuous rotation servos that made a remote control vehicle. It used the onboard badge processor, a propeller, and was coded to speak PWM. However, my absolute favorite was this DC-22 badge that was turned into a rat's nest breathalyzer. Using an alcohol sensor, essentially a fuel cell, the team used a little electronic ingenuity to turn the analog output from the sensor into digital input that the badge could understand. Of course, it's not just DEF CON badges in the pageant. The last category was Wildcard, which included everything else. This is a badge with a ring of WS2812 LEDs that can be controlled via a smartphone app. And there were not 1, but 2 Bender Bending Rodriguez badges that did everything from scan the wireless environment to giving Bender a cigar and the ability to display audio frequencies. In the end, the pageant is one of my favorite parts of DEF CON because it requires makers to create things on site with whatever materials they can find, borrow, and disassemble. If you ever find yourself at a DEF CON, take a seat in the hardware hacking village, ask a bunch of questions from the geeks around you, and get creating.